Yeah. Hello, everyone. This is the live session with talent, and it's a great and huge talent. Deshmukh there, and yeah, thank you very much to CoChess for organizing this. I can hear my echo, but I hope. I mean, is it Divya? You're watching somewhere, or is it Vanessa's
No.
sound there?
Should I get them?
Uh,
Okay, wait. Yeah. Okay. Is it better now?
yeah, but I should speak to understand. Now it's fine, I think. Yeah, and we're live. Everything is okay. Okay, everything is okay, but we're not live. Okay, guys. So Divya, there was your birthday. You turned 15 years old, and Anish Giri said that. I mean, at some point, I mean, probably I can't say this because he said it also like nicely. I think in this in his congratulations and so on. So I would say that he suggested that you become like. You are now 15 and you can now think about playing the Najdorf. So I just wanted, and also we will discuss with you that we can see some Najdorf here. So let's try to see some Najdorf and see what you are doing there as black, because you were explaining to me that knight c6 was the line, but let's see. So e4, c5, knight f3, d6, d4, c takes d4, knight d4, knight f6, knight c3. So guys, on 15th birthday, congratulations. Anish said that maybe she has to start the Najdorf full time. And also, I think he's doing the course for Chessable, I think, on the Najdorf. So probably, yeah, that was part of the PR company. But we saw that it's fine to look at this Najdorf opening. So Divya, I was playing throughout my career mostly Bishop G5. So what is your approach against Bishop G5? Just to let's see.
That's what I play as white. Sometimes.
That's what you play as white as well.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you do as black? Because this is your repertoire as black, and we're going through it.
Knight bd7.
Okay, knight bd7. Let's go knight bd7. Probably Anish is laughing somewhere because he did recently some course on it, so he knows all the recent developments and stuff. And yeah, so okay. So knight bd7, bishop c4, let's say. Even though f4 is the one of the main, also queen e2 and stuff. What about bishop c4? Do you remember something?
No, basically, I just know the ideas that black has to go in this position. He develops it normally like queen c7. He tries to delay e6 because of the constant threat on e6. He goes queen c7, b5, bishop b7, and after a point of time, he can go e6.
Okay, so in this position, you would do what? Like e6 or queen c7? Or anything else? I don't know, just asking.
Actually, e6 works right now.
Just works.
Yes.
Maybe wins for black, is it?
So I know.
I don't know. Just asking. Okay, so from the let's say if I see the recent developments and okay, I go e6, queen e2, because it's a dangerous line. I mean, like kind of Najdorf is really dangerous. Like when you play it, let's say without some of the important knowledge there, because I've played it with white, never played it as black. And I remember playing it as black in the blitz games. I was crushed immediately because I was like forgetting when to play e6, when to play b5 and stuff. And certainly I didn't learn it. Of course, if like learning the opening. I mean, when I was younger, much younger, yeah, when I was a kid more or less. So then I just decided that okay, it's not the opening I want to play. But recently I just discovered playing all this Vache Lagrave and all these guys that are using neither from the highest level, Sasha Grishuk as well, and so on. That the opening is like really cool, and on the highest level, even like for nowadays, I mean, it's just black is having a good position if they know what they're doing. But let's say okay, white is going, let's say here queen e2, and already probably ready to strike at some point. Adiban likes it.
Yeah, you can't go bishop e7, so I guess you just have to go queen c7 or b5.
So what do you do after queen e2?
Maybe go b5.
b5.
There's always this threat of bishop d5 here, right?
There is always a threat of yeah. There's also yeah. I mean, there's bishop d5. There's knight c6 stuff and so on.
Yeah.
But for example, I mean, okay, b5. So imagine you are playing against who is the world champion now? Zhu Wenjun? Is she or? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, except Carlsen that you are going to beat. You promised to me in 5 years, was it? Yeah. So now let's say bishop takes c6.
I think bishop d5 is winning for white, right? We can just go ed5, knight c6, and then takes on d5.
No, bishop d5. He takes d5. Yeah, I mean bishop d5. He takes d5.
Knight
And
c6.
then what? Knight c6, queen c7.
ed5.
Yeah, knight c6, queen c7, ed5, and knight d5.
f4.
f4.
Maybe you should go take the queen to b6. Then you can come bishop g4 maybe.
No, bishop g4 seems to be working here as well, but not only bishop g4. I mean, there is also this. And then just taking on c6 somehow. And black is actually doing very well.
Yeah.
Bishop d5 doesn't win. I mean, b5 is actually one of the main moves here after queen e2. But I was just wondering if, yeah, but because this is the usual idea, yeah, it's at some point, I think there was a game of Gaprindashvili in some Sicilian like this with some bishop d5, knight c6 stuff. But okay, here, let's say, yeah, bishop d5 doesn't work yet, but what about bishop e6, which is also kind of tricky?
Black has to take. Does he have an option?
Yeah, has to take. F takes e6, knight takes e6, and play where? That's the question. Because of these positions, at some point, I mean, I don't know about your line with knight c6 and bishop d7, let's say, which is, as you said, it's fine. I mean, you are playing it and you are probably having okay results there as you are not changing it, right? Or you are just jumping from line to line.
It's working for a while, but I need to change it.
But I think you just have to put like one line that you play constantly, because this is the trend more or less on the highest level as well, like both men's, women's, and everywhere. And you just have to play like kind of one line, because there are too many otherwise. It's hard to learn.
Yeah.
And nowadays, on the very top of, I mean, of both men's and women's chess, like all of the players, they try to play like one thing as black most of the time, because it's hard otherwise to know all the lines, all the subtleties everywhere in different openings. And we can see it with many players. So if you play Najdorf, you play Najdorf. If you play, I don't know, first e5, you play first e5. But probably for your style, Najdorf probably suits you more, yeah?
Yeah, maybe.
So knight takes e6, and then, yeah, for me, this kind of position when the king is in the center and it's attacked, I'm feeling like I'm losing the game already. So
yeah, same.
Yeah, so if it's the same, maybe we have to think about the opening repertoire in general. But after this knight takes e6, you see, I mean, the position is already, I mean, I would prefer to be white here, like knight d5 is coming.
Yeah.
But in fact, black can defend somehow. I mean, they can go for queen a5 before it's from time to time. And there was this game, there was actually the correspondence game on this, and it's 2015, but still, I think pretty decent. He did castle long here. Already, I don't know. I mean, I have a wish to resign here as black, but it seems that position is not as bad as it looks to me. So he did castle long. King f7. Probably bishop e6 is a possible. I mean, knight e5 is a possibility. I mean, Compi suggested knight e5 maybe here, but he was considering probably bishop takes f6, bishop e6. So bishop takes e5, d takes queen h5. Very dangerous it looks for black somehow.
Yeah.
Like everything, like white is just picking up all of the pawns. And I mean, look at this position. I don't know. Bishop f7.
It looks horrible for black.
Well, actually, they keep it somehow. Compi suggested they keep it, but with some super moves. I don't know, like with super lines as well. Like, for example, here, I mean, black cannot move because of the queen takes e7. And they save somehow this position. But let's say with rook h e1, I want to play knight d5 at some point. And some kind of the only move here for black is bishop takes a2, which is not easy to consider in this type of position when you're attacked.
Yeah, exactly.
Knight d5 is coming, and you cannot castle. Knight d5 is coming, so bishop takes a2. I mean, as an only move, and you have to remember it. If you don't remember it, I mean, it's like the end of the game. So this kind of stuff. But in the game, he played not 95. I don't know. This is somehow keepable. But in the game, he played not 95, but instead he went for king f7, which looks even scarier to me. So king f7. Yeah, king f7. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Should I go get headphones? Okay, can I be back in a second?
Yeah, sure, of course. She'll be back in a second. It's fine, guys.
That must be obvious.
We are not live right now. Or okay, is it okay with the sound? Because they have to say in the chat, I think. For us, I think it's okay, right? It's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, all good, all good. Okay, let's go. So, I mean, in this position, the guy went king f7, and looks super scary to me as well. So, white played f4, just showing you, I mean, how dangerous it can be. But I'm not trying to scare you. I mean, in order for you not to play it ever, the Najdorf. But sometimes when I see these positions, yeah, I'm not feeling too confident as playing it as black, let's say. And in the game here, he played e5, but rook h e1 was also possible. So he played e5. Okay, let's see, e5. So you see this king in the center. I'm not sure it's so pleasant to defend, right?
Yes.
I know it's like without the engine, it seems that it's the end of the world. D takes e5, and now rook h e1. So I don't know. Looking at this type of positions, yeah. So I mean, why I'm taking this look at the Najdorf, let's say, with you, is that certainly you should know a lot of lines here, even though when I don't open the notes and stuff, I of course forget a lot of it, but certainly as you're going over and over again through the lines and repeating them and all that stuff, you understand that there are a lot of subtleties, there are a lot of lines, there are a lot of things that you have to remember and so on. But beside that, also you should work on it, I mean, in order to get the kind of feeling of the opening. Otherwise, sometimes you will certainly forget the lines, but at least you will have the feeling of the opening so you can react
Yeah.
over the board. That's important. So in this case, let's say when I'm looking at this, from white's perspective, I like it. From black's perspective, I'm sure that if I remember something if I don't remember something with the king in the center like this on e6, for example, here after rook h e1, um, there are like two moves, but one is like saving black and the other one is like already getting you into trouble here somehow. And kind of the move he played here is bishop a3.
Wow. All this happened in a correspondence game?
Yeah, because I mean they're using engines and all that stuff.
Yes.
So he played this, and white reacted immediately with queen f3. And oh, Divya, what is the move here for black? What do you think?
Hmm. Is bishop b7 possible?
Bishop b7. I don't know. Maybe some f5, queen b7 or something, and rook d7 is coming, or can I?
Yeah.
Possibly. Oh, it's even easier. Yeah, just bishop b7. There is queen h3, king f7, and rook d7. Just easier than this. It's completely winning. Actually, queen b7. I'm not sure it works at all, and the 5 is a draw. There is some draw like f5 here. Let's say king f7, queen b7, takes, and this, and like perpetual. But yeah, okay, there is queen h3. Yeah, but there is one move that saves black here. And once again, if you don't remember this is a problem. So I would always prefer, like, I mean, even in the King's Indian, which is like very kind of forced opening from time to time, like the basic ideas, even if you mixed up something, it's not the mate immediately, at least it's a game. And also like in many of the Sicilians is like this. And of course in first e5, it's mostly like this. Like if you play first e5, it's more playable all the time. But on the contrary, compared to all these forced openings, when I was playing them, let's say as black, all the time, when I was playing some kind of e5, when I was especially when I was playing some e5 and stuff, I was always upset because it was not that tactical. Also the case,
Yes.
because you also want some kind of tactical positions all the time, but then you get some kind of position in e5 that you have to play 4 hours. Yeah, it's nice, you are not losing by force, but you are not able to express your like tactical talent and stuff. So that was also the problem. So this, I mean, finding this kind of mix, I think it's a very important thing for the player, and to find one opening that really suits you well, and that you feel that like every time you play it you feel like kind of happy. Yeah, like I did for many years, like playing King's Indian, I was like kind of happy to play these moves, and to play the line, to play the opening. So here, yeah, here you will have to find or know probably a lot of moves. But as you told me that you are working from time to time, like 8.5 to 9 hours per day. So for you, I think it will not be a problem. How is your memory, by the way, Divya? Is it like you remember everything like looking at it once or something?
Not looking at once, but it's not bad.
It's not bad. Yeah. So let's say for Karpov, I mean, the memory was also always the bad kind of point in his preparation and stuff. So he tried to play all the openings that are playable, more or less, so that he just knows the structures, the subtleties, more or less, and is not forced win or lose or something. And let's say here, this position, Queen F3, there is only one move that saves black, and it's B4, which is, let's be fair, also slightly unexpected somehow when you look at the board, because you want to keep the possibility of bishop takes B2 and queen B4. And knight B1. Wow. What is this game? Knight B1. Already there are threats of like queen B3 and stuff. F takes C5, all this in the air. And now, Divya, if you find the move here, you get the Oscars. Just without acting. Just Oscars directly. So what's the move you think here for black? No, it's fine.
Okay, sorry, I pressed the. Sorry, I pressed the airplane mode button by mistake.
Divya is trying, I think Divya is trying to turn on the engine and see what's the move here.
No.
That's why the screen is frozen.
I pressed the airplane mode button.
Okay, so what do you do after knight b1? What would you do? Imagine playing against Carlsen last game, you have to make a draw. He's in a very aggressive mood here. But let's say you have started this line and you have to make a draw. That's crazy, actually, this position somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, white is like 2 pieces down, but yeah, I mean, and look at this one. I mean, queen b3 is coming, f takes c5 is in the air, like everything is like hanging around there, like, you know, bishop takes f6 is coming.
Yes.
And also the piece I can take at any moment, so it's like one piece only. So okay, let's see the game, because really it's like I asked you the question what to do here, what's the move, but I have to be honest. I mean, it would take us probably a few hours to just think about this position and realize what's the move here. But the point is that he played here rook b8.
What?
Yeah, just without fearing anything, like all this mates and stuff. And I'm just wondering what is the move after queen b3, for example. And the only move is knight d5. Because if you go, let's say, something like king f5 here.
Are you sure you want me to play this?
Well, actually, you told me that you are playing the Najdorf. So I just wanted to
I never got such a crazy position ever.
Yeah, but that's the problem with bishop g5. So you either have to probably playing against bishop g5. In your case, you will have to learn these lines with e6, queen b6, queen takes b2. But knight b7 is like kind of considered like kind of more playable line. But in fact, it's also very forced. I mean, all the elite players now, they go for this knight b7 from time to time, but mostly they go queen b6, and they take on b2 and all that stuff. But it's also crazy, and there is a lot of probably you saw some positions there, right? And with this queen b6 takes b2.
I've seen as white, not as black.
Yeah, but I mean, so you are aware of this kind of attacks there, e5, all that f5 stuff, bishop takes f6, gf, f5, a lot of tricks there. So, but knight b7 is a playable line as well. But look at this position. Let's say if you go, let's say something like king f5, you get just g4, and some kind of crazy stuff. Let's say knight g4, queen d3, king e6, queen c4, king f5, and rook takes d7. Yeah. And here it's already the beauty price for this. And the point is that after bishop d7, there is some queen d3, king e6, f5, king f7, queen d7, and like white is winning. But I mean, it's like, okay, it's crazy. But after queen b3, there is knight d5, and black is somehow saving the day with this. But oh my god, I mean, playing this because I'm not, you see what I mean? Yeah, because I mean, you get this position. Let's say even if you know that rook b8 is the move, just over the board you are wondering, what about g4? Let's say here. What about, I don't know, f takes e5? What about bishop takes f6? What exactly is the sequence afterwards? And let's say in this position, let's say queen b3, knight d5, f takes e5. Imagine the threat is queen h3 and d6, and you have to do as well something. So TV, I'm not trying to make you reconsider the Najdorf. I'm just saying that, for example, in this position, when you have to find the best move and you find rook f8, just because the king goes to f7 and then g8 and hides there, it's slightly complicated. That's only what I meant. You have to be aware of that. And actually, black is just doing very well. I mean, white actually have to make the precise moves now to keep the game going. So one of the moves will be like queen h3, king f7. Let's say queen h3, king f7, queen f3, then taking on d5, then taking on h3, some kind of strange stuff with kind of draw. But okay, let's see back. Let's come back to this rook b8 and just see what happened in the game fast, just to finish this one at least. And so he went b takes a3, very natural. B takes a3. Now it's more or less clear that the idea of rook b8 was to threat rook b1 and control the b3 square once the bishop is taken. So f takes e5 and knight takes e5. So black is kind of mobilized their position more or less, like the pieces as well. Like rook b1 is there, like king is coming back to f7 more or less safely. But bishop f4. So we're already, if we're playing white, we're not even not even a piece down after bishop f4, because I'm just picking up the e5 knight. So king f7, crazy games, but I mean, they're very strong, of course. They're using all of the engines and stuff. So rook takes e5, queen b4.
I've played Najdorf for about like 2-3 years, and I've never seen such a crazy position, literally.
Yeah, but if you start with this, with the bishop g5 lines, you will see a lot of this, like bishop takes e6. I think Adiban was having some kind of match against Nepo in, I think in Batumi World Cup. I think it was there. No, it was not Batumi World Cup. Tbilisi World Cup. Batumi was the Olympiad. So in Tbilisi World Cup, I think he was always getting some advantages in the bishop g5 line. He knows it quite well. And in the bishop g5 line, he was always sacrificing the bishop on e6. Like Nepomniachtchi is one of the best specialists in the world, like in Najdorf, considered to be, and he's playing the Najdorf all of his life. And he was getting every game like +3 in white's favor. Like all the time, Adiban was getting like +3, +6 in every game. Still, he didn't deliver the final blow there and lost the match somehow. But he was very close to winning. I mean, every game almost in rapids and everywhere, like tie breaks and everything, he was getting like huge advantage by finding the right sequence of moves in the openings and just sacrificing on his 6 most of the time. And these positions, because over the board, they're very different. You know that it's fine. You know that it's good. But when your king is on e6 and there are 500 checks around there, it's really hard to find, because this position, look at this. I mean, now it's already more or less okay. So queen b4, he played, let's say, queen b3 just to see the game till the end. Queen b3, queen takes. Probably c takes b3, I guess. Even look at the end game, because it looks bad for black, because knight is picking up the a3. And seems that white is like better. But there is like forced line, bishop g4, rook d3. And some rook bc8 check.
Okay, now it looks fine for black.
Now it looks at least not that fine, but at least it's better. Yeah, more kind of stable. So I mean, a lot of stuff here, because for example, what do you think? Rook c3, let's say. And
also, by the way, I got the headphones, so in case there's an audio problem.
No, I think now it's fine. I think it seems to be okay. So
after this, low for me because I've lowered the computer sound.
But is it okay or?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, so rook c3, and there is like some kind of bishop e6, and look at this. After bishop, let's say rook ec5, trying to exchange the rooks and take on a3. There is rook takes c5, rook c5, and bishop takes b3.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then there's a2, and like black is keeping somehow. So in the game, he went king d2 just to see the game till the end because it was too beautiful. So we have to a bit spoil the fun with some technical stuff. So king d2. There is the only move now that saves black more or less is knight d7. And it's, by the way, Divya and people that are watching, it's move 24. And it's some kind of a forced line so that you understand sometimes how hard it is to make this theoretical work. So rook g5 and knight f6. So black is somehow saving the day with like extreme precision, like really precise play. And yeah, and still, you know, I mean, he went knight c3 here, and still you have to be precise because I want to pick up the pawns, rook a5, rook a6, a3. And the best move here again, kind of important, rook c6, rook a5. Already it seems that white is picking up the pawns, but in fact rook hc8, attacking the knight on c3, so rook c3 is hanging, and with knight e4 is coming after. Bishop f5, defending it. Bishop f5. So Divya, you will have to learn all of this. Bishop f5. You will have to learn all of this.
Yes, but I don't think the opponent can go this accurate.
Yeah, it's rare. It's rare because of also, I mean, to remember this also not easy, especially that if you deviate at some point. So in this one, yeah, I mean, they just did some rook takes c3 and knight e4, and it was a draw. But I mean, yeah, it's crazy stuff. I mean, he did rook c3, rook f6, I guess, yeah. Yeah, rook f6, gf, bishop c3. Okay, but I mean, let's come back and see what happened, what was happening there. So yeah, just to point the hardest moment to find the moves here. So one is bishop a3, already something. Then there is b4, crazy move. And after knight b1, rook b8, guys, just, you know, if somebody plays like this, it's clearly the anti-cheating measures should be applied because this is too much. But nowadays, this is from time to time very normal because the players are learning the lines like with all the spaces and with engines and so on. So let's come back and see what we could do to avoid this as black. Is there anything to do after queen e2 to avoid this kind of tactical game? Let me see. But as you play the Sicilian, it means that mostly you like the force kind of play, is it? Or
yes, could say.
Because let's say all of the players that are like more kind of classical, they go with first e5, or they go with the more classical Sicilians. With, I mean, Najdorf is a classical Sicilian, let's be fair, but all these knight c6 Sicilians are also kind of classical as well. So you either go with the Najdorf, but then you are ready for this kind of lines, or actually after queen e2, let me see if you can avoid this kind of stuff. Let's say if you go h6 here, or queen a5, let's say, then it's dangerous. So if you go h6 here, which is the way to try to avoid it, let's say. Okay, then it means that after queen e2, you have to learn this b5 probably. But okay, so h6 and yeah, bishop h4, let's say. Bishop h4, b5. And somehow here, white is not going for bishop takes e6. Probably there is some difference with this h6, I guess. So can we just see it? I once sacrificed the bishop like this in my game against Gelfand, and I got the problems with white as well. I mean, he defended well, and I just didn't get any advantage and just got a bad position fast. But when it works, it really works. I mean, once it works, it's a problem. So queen a5, castle long b4. This is the theory. And some knight d5. So now it's crazy again because I mean all these pieces are hanging. Knight c7 is coming. So knight d5, king f7. Only move, by the way. Otherwise, black is lost.
I really think you're making sure I never play Najdorf.
You think so, yeah? Maybe, yeah. maybe that. No, but I mean, you can certainly play Najdorf if you. I guess if you watch Anish's course on this, I'm sure, because I think he's doing things like pretty nicely, this opening stuff, and he's like considered one of the best specialists in the world in the opening phase, and I think he does it like usual. I mean, usually he's like really taking care of his notes. He doesn't like to make mistakes there and stuff. Like he really takes care of it. So there in the Najdorf, I think he just. I mean, I will also have a look. I mean, certainly I will not play Najdorf as black. I'm sure. I don't want it. But I mean, I have my repertoire which I should work on as well. But the Najdorf, I mean, as an opening, if you play it since your like early years, I think if you master it, is one of the best openings certainly, because you can score a lot, you can really fight in the important games. Let's say if you need a win as black, many times it happens, like in the World Cups and everywhere. So this is important. That's why I think that maybe after watching this, it will be more clear, because I mean he's making everything, I think, just in order to have you like one playable line um, in every system in Najdorf, which is quite good. So you don't need to research yourself. So you see what I mean? And when the top players do this kind of job, especially that he's playing Najdorf as black a lot. So after this king f7, the guy went knight c7. And yes, it's scary. I agree. Rook a7. Yeah, with such a king on f7, I would be super scared. I don't know. I'm like, oh my God. Where am I going? I took the wrong path in life. So yeah, king on f7 is really scary. I don't know. Queen c4, Divya.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and then Divya, you will have to play king g6. I'm sorry. And yeah, I'm just looking at this position without the engine and then looking at the engine, and like I mean, asking myself so many questions. What about this? What about that? What if this move? What if that move? And really not finding a lot of answers there. Because here after king g6, white played 96, and pieces are like approaching the king already, taking on f6 somewhere and so on. Knight f8, knight f7, stuff is coming. So this knight is 6. And it's only moves all the time. Oh yeah. Knight takes d5. E takes d5, even though rook d5 is possible as well. And now, Divya, what do you think is the best move? You already know how you're playing these lines.
King h7.
Yeah, king h7, yeah?
Okay.
That's true. So you just go king f7, king g6, king h7, and you're supposed to win the game. Bishop d8.
Wow.
Queen a4, maybe queen b5 is also possible. And that's actually their game, by the way. And
Okay.
getting more crazy. Rook h e1. Could I take the bishop on c8? Just asking. Bishop e7 is the move, right? What's the idea otherwise? Or
I guess black just gives that piece.
yeah, I'm just asking. Let's say if the queen c8, is it possible to play this? There is bishop e7.
Why doesn't white take it then?
Sorry.
Why doesn't white take it?
Yeah, that's what I was asking myself. But I mean, I thought bishop e7 is the move, and just d8 is hanging.
Maybe he takes on a2.
A2 he can take simply. Yeah, even easier. And then yeah, and then the queen is actually stuck there on c8. Can come back. But bishop e7 is also, I mean, possible. I mean, just to to pin the bishop there, and seems that black is good. But rook h1 played. That's why. Of course, he sees it with the engine and everything. So rook h1. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, Divya, your move.
Okay, my move.
Yes.
King g8.
No, not king g8. No, come on. Then queen c8 and stuff will be there, I guess.
Can I go maybe knight e5?
Yeah, you can. So knight e5. It's a very easy line that goes further. So queen c8 you calculated for sure already. And okay, this g6, I guess, yeah. And f4. Yeah, this we will have to ask from, Srinath, Anish, everyone who is experts in the openings, how to play this as black, this position, if they don't know, especially. Because the only move here, Divya, that doesn't lose for black is bishop g7. And the point of bishop g7 is that if knight takes, let's say, okay, if knight takes, the rook is hanging there. So, yeah, actually, bishop g7 is just attacking d8 bishop, yeah? That's more or less it. But white is having bishop b6, for example. The only move now is rook b7. Okay, this is possible to find, I guess. So happy I'm not playing Najdorf. F takes c5. Bishop takes
You're
c6.
teaching me to play this.
D takes c6. No, I'm not teaching you to play this. I am checking with you what kind of knowledge you have in the Najdorf, and if you want it to be your main opening. And I have nothing against it. I'm just saying that for myself, on my own, I'm kind of a guy who, when looks at this position, this type of positions, thinks that, oh my God, I will have my king, walking around the board. Like, have you seen this game Gashimov played against Grishuk?
Which one?
It was the World Teams Championship.
This year? No, not this year.
No. It was long ago. It's like 2010 or something. Let me see if I can find it. Just to show.
Okay, more than what? Don't teach me what I cannot play. Teach me what I can play. Like in
You can play
Najdorf.
this. You can play. You can
I'm
play
not
this.
playing this.
Why you don't like it? I will show you now the game. I will show you now the game, which is typical for Najdorf. Typical for Najdorf. So, okay, Divya, look. As you told me that the Najdorf is one of your openings, we have to go through the lines. So once we go through the lines, we establish the lines, and then we see if it's appropriate. Because, for example, for me, when I was going through some lines, like let's say in Sicilian, at first I didn't like a lot of stuff there. I was playing knight c6, Sveshnikov, and so on. So I didn't like many lines there, and I was saying like, okay, what is this? Why should I play this? And so on. So, but I was learning because there is a lot of stuff. It's like Berlin as well. It's not hands in pocket. You come there, you just have a great position and stuff. It's hard to play all of these openings. One is hard to play technically, the other one is hard to play tactically and stuff. You will not find the opening, that you are coming like nicely dressed for the game, like super happy mood and so on. Play it like, oh, this is nice. I'm just feeling everything is good. No, it's like a lot of study, a lot of stuff to remember, a lot of lines to learn, and a lot of stuff that you will not like. There's no like this universal kind of opening that you will also like and always feel good there and everything. So you will have to learn everywhere. In King's Indian doesn't matter, Sicilian any kind, first e5 as well, like anything. So just trying to pick up the lines that it's, by the way, is your opening, right? It's one of two of your openings as black against e4.
Yeah, not my main. Like I haven't played it in about 2-3 years. So.
Sorry?
I haven't played it in 2-3 years.
You haven't played it in 2-3 years? The Najdorf. So you are playing this knight c6, bishop d7 stuff. Okay, so I will show you the game, after which you have to decide if you are playing Najdorf or not. Because certainly, as Divya, you understand, in 1 hour I cannot show you the entire opening systems of the world. So now we're just seeing one game, and you will tell me if you are able to play like this, Najdorf is for you. Because Grishuk is playing like this, Nepo is playing like this, and probably some other, who's playing on top, like on the women's chess, let's say, who's playing on top the Najdorf? Is there any player? The world champion, what is she doing against e4?
I don't really know a lot about women's chess.
Okay. So then we're talking about Nepo, Vashier, and all these guys, and Grishuk.
Yeah.
So there is a game of this knight c6, knight c3, a6, bishop g5. It's Gashemov Vogar against Alexander Grishuk. So I'll just show you one game, which is very typical for the things that we were also looking at this now with the king moves and stuff. So bishop g5. I will not be long there, but we'll just show you the way they played. So f4. This is the line, by the way, with the poison pawn line with with queen b6 that I was talking about. And now and back then, it was also popular, this queen d3. I was doing it a few times. I won a game against Ye Jiangchuan in like Azerbaijan against China. I was having like either against Rosen, I think, yeah, and some of the games with Queen D2 and stuff, also against the strong players here. So Queen D3 was very popular as well, and as well with Queen D2 together. These two moves, right? So Queen D3 was one of the main moves at the time in the like theoretical discussion. Still is now, but okay, let's see. Queen takes B2, Rook B1, Queen A3, and F5. So there's huge theory here, but just let's see the way that you should be ready to play. If you are ready to play like this, you are Najdorfian player. So let's see.
Knight C6.
Bishop E7. No, now it doesn't matter. I mean, I will just show you the way he moves the king, and you will tell me. F takes E6. F takes. Bishop E2. So Queen A5. Bishop D2. This is all theory. Queen C7. G4. There were other moves, some Queen H3 and stuff, but okay. G4. H6. Queen H3.
Okay. Is this theory?
This was theory at the time. Yeah, I don't exactly remember right now what are the sequence here of the moves, but this was theory. Yeah, it was theory back then. And Rook H7. But this is just the beginning. Rook F1.
Okay, this is not as bad as the earlier one, so it's fine.
Already you like it, yeah? At least it's a rook going to H7 and stuff. But I think there are other moves than this, but okay. Knight C6. It doesn't matter if it was just correct or not. I'm just showing you the way black should play from time to time. It's not forced, of course. Usually it's not happening every day, yeah? Knight C6, Queen C6. Okay, E5, D takes E5. Bishop D3. E4. Knight E4. Knight E4. Queen H5. And now remember this king on E8 that is checked now. And look at what Sasha Grishuk is doing with this king. So King D7, it started. Rook D1, Rook H8, Bishop F4. King is already kind of trapped there in the center. Bishop B4 check. C3, Knight takes C3, Bishop D2, Queen D5, and we remember that we're talking now about the black's king. Rook F7 check. King C6. Rook C1. King B6. Bishop E3. King A5.
No.
A3. A3, Divya. A3. King A4. AB. Queen takes D3. Queen A5. King B3. So this is what you will have to do in the Najdorf. What can I say about it? Rook takes C3. Queen takes.
Oh God.
G2. B6. Queen B6. Queen E5. And I was playing the next board. It was the team championship. And I was going crazy as well there. King D1. Bishop B7. Queen B7. Rook H D8. Rook F3. King A2. Rook F2. King B1. Queen F3. Rook AC8. Queen B3. Queen B2. Takes, and Vugar resigned here. But on the way, he had great chances. I mean, he had great possibilities there for white. Of course. I mean, because this is too much, yeah. But still, I mean, like, guys, look at this road as well from what was it? From E8 to B1, more or less. And it's hard to imagine at this point. It was very hard to imagine at this point that king can end up on B1 somehow. It was too crazy. I was impressed even during the game because I didn't analyze it. I didn't have anything to do there. Of course, no engine because we're in the playing hall and so on. So it's hard to understand what's going on there. And when we were looking at this, we were just amazed. I mean, during the game because the king comes from E8 to B1. And I think even Vugar, when he lost the game, it was like kind of like a normal loss. Yeah, I mean, it's like you are just saying your opponent played great chess. Yeah. So I
just have one doubt.
Yes.
Is this class about what I should not play or what I should play?
I think you should play this. I think you should play this, but you should just learn to play. The point is that, I mean, there are different openings. Let's say Najdorf, you should learn to play with bad king. So with bad and attacked king. And we're checking if you're ready to do so. And this is one of your, like, as you said, at least to me, at least before the session, one of your two openings that you play. So I was considering that if you are an Najdorfian, you know this kind of stuff. But probably, as far as I understood now, is that bishop g5, you didn't study much as black. You studied
Okay,
it as
actually,
well.
it does not look that bad because I'll be knowing the theory and the opponent won't, and his mind will be blown.
Yeah. So in this case, I mean, I'm showing you immediately the things that are scary in the Najdorf. There are plenty of things about Najdorf that are very cool. In terms of the opening, I mean, it's super aggressive. It's like you can win a lot of games, you can score a lot as well, and so on. So it's not like, yeah, no, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to scare you in some way, but not in terms of skipping up the opening, of course. I mean, this is just things that you have to be ready. Because look, I mean, bishop g5 line, let's say, you will always play with such king. The king
Yeah,
will,
actually, I do like it.
yeah, either the king will be in the center or the king will be attacked. I mean, this is the entire Najdorf is like this. Because, for example, if the lines with bishop c4, let's say, probably you are aware of them, or the lines with bishop e3 and these lines and like f3 g4 lines, you will most of the time have the king on e8.
Yeah.
Most of the time you don't go castle short even, so you will go for e6, bishop e7, knight bd7, b5, all that stuff, bishop b7, and so on. Sometimes with h5 from time, you know, this line exists. It was f3 and h5 and stuff.
Yes.
So a lot of things like this. Probably you will play e5 at some point here, maybe like one of the main moves as well, and so on. But anyway, if somebody plays f3 or something like this against you, you will most of the time have to play with the king in the center. That's why I'm showing you the most unpleasant parts of the opening. So immediately you decide for yourself. Because for me, it was the easiest way to decide. I was looking at the openings, and I was seeing that, let's say, for example, I mean, Najdorf is not for me, let's say. With me, it was clear. I was going on the classical Sicilian with 96 and stuff. But I am sure if I would learn Najdorf more, I would be happy to play it because it really suits my style. Let's say I was always kind of trying to tactical games and so on, but I just didn't learn it by heart like since my childhood, and that's why I didn't mess up with it later. But in your case, I think you can start very early now with establishing your opening repertoire and decide if Najdorf is for you. I think it's for you. I don't see a problem with it. But only thing is that you will have to learn a lot of theory, and that you have to be ready for. But I must tell you that if we ask, probably if we ask Srinath, and of course if we ask Anish as well, I mean, they will tell you that, let's say, this line with knight c6 and bishop d7, it's playable, certainly playable. But when they prepare every time for you, they will find the really bad and weak points there. That's the problem. That's what I'm afraid. At least Najdorf is a good opening, and the official series says that it's fine. In knight c6, bishop d7, official series says that black is having problems. Is
Yes.
in trouble and should find the best moves all the time and so on. Still, it's of course playable. Maybe many openings are playable. For example, let's say I was playing as black the dragon, like all this stuff, and there Divya, for me, it took some months to get used to play with this bishop h6 and queen on h6 and all this attack. They go there, like putting the bishop there, queen on d2, h4, h5, and it's still not lost, but it's fine. And for me, I could not realize. I was asking all the time the coach and so on. I mean, how is that not lost? Yeah, I'm h take g6, f take g6, and black is okay at some point.
I probably played that when I was like 8 or 9, maybe 9, 10, something.
Yeah, I mean, it can be it is probably a playable opening, but there are so many problems to solve that you are thinking, should I really do this? Should I give so many possibilities to white, or should I just play something like I will always play it like on the highest level? So in this case, I think Najdorf is a good opening. But just by showing these two games, I'm just precisely showing to you that this you will have to deal with. You have to be ready to deal with this stuff. And there is a lot of stuff there as well. I mean, like with, for example, queen b6 line that we were looking at here. Let's say I lost some rapid game recently in the Skilling Open against the Ding Lijian. And we were playing this line, which is which is also one of the all the stuff, d takes c5, knight d7, all that stuff, when black is taking the pawn there, like all this 94 stuff. You remember these lines a bit, or? Yeah,
Yes.
94, queen takes, d5, e5, and so on. So also super tricky, but black is like kind of keeping, but they know the theory. They know the theory, they remember the theory, and they somehow manage. So what was your opponents doing there, like when you were playing Najdorf? What was the main?
They used to play a lot of things. Mainly it would be bishop g5.
Okay.
And maybe there was f4, there was bishop g5, bishop e3, bishop e2.
Yeah. Bishop c4,
And
not
bishop
much.
c4.
It's not that
Yeah,
popular.
it's not that common, but it is there.
Yeah, so bishop c4 and stuff. There are a lot of stuff here as well, as like queen f3 as well. I've used this in some of the games in European Club Cup. I think I won a game as white here. There is also g3 stuff, and there's also h3, a huge line, quite modern. So this type of chess, once you I think that after h3 and all that stuff, you will like the positions as black mostly, because there's not a huge threat to black's king. But emphasis, in case you start, let's say, learning Najdorf and so on, is that you have to start probably with bishop g5, which is the most forcing line, and you have to start with bishop g5 and probably bishop e3, f3, because these are the two big lines that are used and that are trendy. Because if you start with bishop d3 lines, h3 lines, and all that stuff, h3 is also trendy, but certainly bishop g5, bishop e3, you have to do what you are. You have to know what you are doing there. This is really scary stuff. And just to check your main repertoire, hopefully I'm not giving any ideas to your opponents, but just you still have plenty of time in the pandemic to prepare at home and be prepared for the tournaments. So otherwise, instead of the Najdorf is a huge thing, of course. You were doing this knight c3 and what here exactly? Let me see. What were your games here? You were doing bishop d7 or knight c6 you were doing here? Divya?
I play knight c6.
Help needed.
Okay.
Knight c6. Yeah. Okay, I can see you lost one game, and you lost two games actually, and you drew two, right?
Actually, I've played a lot of games here. Standard, I don't know, but online and everything, I've played a lot of games, and the results were not bad.
I must tell you that I have not found any of your games in the database on the official games in the database on knight c6. You have never played it?
1 second. Should I check?
I think you have never played it. I have the position.
I have.
Where I can find it?
1 second.
So knight.
Also, by the way, I had one doubt in Najdorf, bishop g5. Should I go for queen b6 or is e6 or knight d7 the good move?
I think as it's all forced, maybe you should try learning this queen b6 stuff.
Okay.
Maybe you should try to learn it. By the best games like there are now in the databases, like top level games, and maybe some correspondence chess, you have also to take the basis and stuff and check it out. I think for youngsters, it's useful to use this basis, also for the top players as well. But for you, I think it will be very useful, because they will show you more or less the direct pass, the right pass there, and you will not have to spend a lot of time analyzing the lines like on your own. So probably you will have to memorize. Certainly you will have to memorize it, but it's easier than establishing yourself the lines and then memorizing them, because it will take you like twice more time, at least
Yes.
twice more. So what were your moves here? Knight c3. I don't see any other games rather than
Okay, so I found some games. Most of them are online. I even played it in Olympiad.
Okay.
1 second. Should I how do I send it to you?
Okay, let's say after knight c3, you were playing what?
Knight c6, knight c3, knight c6.
Yeah, knight c3, knight c6. And let me see what's going on here nowadays. Okay, so what was played against you? Bishop g5 mostly, yeah?
What I play on bishop g5?
No, I mean, did they play bishop g5 mostly against you here?
Yes, they played bishop g5.
Yeah, bishop g5 and then e6, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me see. Yeah, queen d2. So you have learned this here.
A6.
A6, castle long, yeah.
Bishop e7.
Bishop e7.
I'm having a bit of confusion because this board is flipped.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's a fair thing to say because it also happens to me all the time. So yeah. This is just normal because I mean,
Yeah.
I think Patvinik at some point they showed him some position and he said, "Oh, this is my game." They say, "Yeah, it's from the match." He said, "Oh, the board is reversed," but the match, I mean, for the two world champions, the match is like the main thing in their life, so hard not to remember the games. So
Okay,
so here, let me see. What is it like? Oh yeah, okay.
White goes f4. There's a lot of theory here. So basically, white goes f4, and black plays bishop d7. Here, white has, I think, two options. He can either take on, he can either play knight f3 and
So f4. F4. What do you do?
yeah, bishop d7.
Bishop d7. Srinath. Srinath, I'm sure. Knight f3.
b5.
Ah, you remember the series.
Yes.
You're pretending you are not remembering anything, but yeah. And okay, so you play this kind of positions. You mean you like this kind of stuff, yeah? Bishop takes f6,
Yes.
gf.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you like it, by the way? Because of two bishops, or is it like because of the structure that can be like, I mean, like you can always strike as well, or is it?
Yeah, you can try, and basically you do not have a specific weakness, and I don't know, I just like it.
Okay, that's also fair. Sometimes we like some things, but we're not sure why.
Yes.
But okay, so I'm just looking at what is going on here. Okay, so king b1 or f5.
Queen d6.
Have you checked f5 as well? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
One, king, queen b6. Okay, f5. Yeah.
Castle.
Oh,
Long castle.
yeah,
Long
yeah.
castle.
I understand. If the short castle would be, it would be really scary. Yeah, and then I see a lot of games, and okay, one of the most recent ones, let's say. Okay, this one. Let me take some strong one as well here. Okay, so you're more or less playing this kind of positions, yeah? Very scary, to be honest.
Yeah.
Very scary. Because you know of this weaknesses of e6 and f6 and this d6 stuff. It's like you are kind of playing slightly worse playable position, which you certainly have a lot of play here probably, but okay, to say that I would be scared is to say nothing more or less. But what is the main here?
Okay, so white has plenty of options here. He can either go queen f6, he can go bishop d3. The main thing that white does is have his knight over at f4, the c3 knight.
Yeah. To attack e6 and to provoke e5 like somehow at some point, or attack it and then provoke e5 at some point, yeah. But certainly you are not going for e5. So I would say that e2 is the move, let's say.
No, bishop doesn't go to e2 because then the knight can't come to f4.
I'm going to e2, and what are you doing here?
Okay.
I'm just asking. New thing for you. I understood that you know this knight e2 f4. This is classical, and also they play sometimes g3 and bishop h3 and all that stuff. But what about bishop e2? Stupid move. I don't know that I have to put my knight on f4. I just know that I have to develop pieces. So I went bishop.
I guess you go move the king to b8 or b7.
Yeah, you moved your king to b8, let's say, and yeah, like king b8, which is very normal. And let's say I went something like what?
g3 maybe?
No, g3 now I'm not sure I need it, because g3 I need it there for bishop h3 move or something. But why do I need it here? Let's say, I don't know. Let's say I went just a3. Can I?
Yeah, you can. I guess, is knight e5 possible? Knight e5 is kind of like a plan, and black goes h5, bishop f8, bishop h6.
Yeah, 95 here somehow is not that good because of queen h6. Maybe you have to start with h5 or something. But
No, I think queen h6 is a blunder, right?
is it?
Yeah.
Why?
Knight g4, knight f2.
Queen g7, queen f7.
Okay, now knight g4.
Yeah, then knight g4. Then I mean, knight g4, queen g7, and takes f7. I think it's bad for black. No, this is bad for black somehow.
That is bad for black, yeah.
Yeah, so h3, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I see what you mean exactly here. You just want
Maybe
to...
you go h5 first.
That's what I said, yeah. h5 maybe instead of queen, I mean, to avoid any queen h6 stuff. And then do kind of the plan you wanted, yeah?
This actually happened in one of my Olympiad games, and she went queen h6 way earlier, like even before I castled.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to spend about 8 minutes, and I was 8 minutes down on the clock the whole game.
Yeah, but what's your next, let's say? I don't know, Compy is suggesting some strange stuff, but I don't know why, but don't ask me. I mean, sorry, what was the... yeah, h5. Rook hg1, let's say.
Can I go knight e5 now?
Yeah, knight e5. Divya, you will be impressed now. And rook gf1. So modern chess. And by the way, Compy suggests that you are slightly worse already somehow.
Me?
I don't know why, but this is kind of mathematical decision.
No. It just seems like an equalish person. Maybe I can't develop my e7 bishop.
Can you? I mean,
I can't because d6 is hanging.
Yeah, the 6 is hanging, and so it's where to move it exactly. Because bishop f8, knight takes e5 is dangerous as well.
Maybe I go bishop c8. Is it possible?
Yeah, you can, but then probably it's not the idea of the position, because I can play maybe, I don't know, it shows even g3 is possible. Because the point is that for black, the only problem of this position is it's certainly possible to play it as black, I guess. This is, I mean, I have to see the line more because I haven't looked at it like since I was, playing it as, I mean, not many players do it as black, certainly. And I was playing it as white, of course. I mean, I was meeting this kind of system as white. But as far as I remember, it was slightly worse all the time in terms of, I'm controlling. I mean, what is the problem for black here? You are generally fine, and you will find a lot of tricks after anything, more or less, and you will be able to defend it most of the time, probably. In terms of like engine, you and engine, and me and engine, let's say, and you will defend it as black, let's say, for example, when we start to play it like this. But then when you're over the board, the point is that here white is controlling the center. White is controlling the center, and you are always a defensive side, more or less. You may realize it, you may not realize it, but you are always playing slightly worse position, but you are proving that, okay, I am like making a draw or something. I can do this by some dynamical factors. I can do some before at some point, maybe bishop f8, h6 and stuff. But you should realize that you are slightly worse all the time. And you will be worse, I mean, in case there is a strong player as white, like throughout a lot of moves here, like through the middle game, you will pass it like with the slightly worse position all the time. So you will keep it by the dynamics. And here, like, I mean, I will go, you see, I'm going rook g1, rook f1, a3, I don't know, sometimes maybe g3 and stuff. I'm doing very slow moves because I'm slightly better and I should not rush. So I should just press it this way. And with black, I will always ask you some questions. Do you play h5 first, or bishop c8, or rook g8? And I will see what kind of weakness you create so that I can attack it. So now let's say I understand what computer is doing. Let's say it goes like rook g1, then rook f1, just waiting, seeing what you are doing. You went, let's say, bishop c8. Now again, some waiting move. Bishop c8, let's say. Queen e1. transferring it maybe to h4, maybe knight d4 is the threat. I mean, it's not the threat, but I mean, it's like kind of move I want to make, and so on.
Can
So
I
yes,
go
yes,
on
yes.
g4?
Knight g4 here?
Is it possible?
It's possible, but maybe I want to play something like d3 or maybe f takes. I don't know. Can I go rook? Yeah, rook d3 is maybe fine. Certainly, I will avoid knight d3. That's my main. Actually, because my tactical wish was to play knight d4, knight d3. There is some knight bishop b5. Maybe, I don't know, some kind of stuff like that, but I was not sure with some knight c6 stuff. Knight d1, knight c6, king a8, queen d1, some crazy stuff. But Compi suggests rook d3 as the best move here. So if you go, let's say knight, yeah, it's hard to say what you are doing here exactly with black. So you see, I mean, if you ask me what is the threat from white side, nothing. You are all defended, all good, all, I mean, fine. Bishops are defending everything. If you are asking me what black should do, I don't know. It's hard to say because you see the position, you're having like a okay position, but what is your exact plan? So I have to check it, certainly. I don't know too much.
Yeah, even I have to check it.
Yeah, I have to check it as black because I don't know much about the plan here. But you see, for example, I'm doing this moves, and what you do as black? Rook d3.
I'm pretty sure I went wrong somewhere.
Yeah, so your main idea is to do what here, as you know the opening. So what do you do? So you have this position. What is your plan next?
Okay.
Just reacting, maybe. Just reacting is possibly.
Yes.
Yes.
Basically, just holding and reacting to whatever the opening does.
Yeah, so let's say if he goes some kind of slow stuff, I understand that bishop e2 is kind of slow stuff that they do, but they also do a lot of stuff here with g3, which is the main move. I mean, g3 here is the main move. And what did you do against it? King b8? Deviated king b8?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah, king b8, bishop h3, very direct.
I guess you go h5 now. Would you?
h5 here. No, h5 here. I think it's you can take on e6 probably. F takes and play rook hf1 or knight e2 maybe. Yeah, it's very dangerous. I see what. For example, I don't know the line that much as black, let's say, but I know as white that you are just look. I mean, imagine I'm just a player as white. Yeah, I came to this position. I know that f5 is the right way. I know that I have to press the e6. Okay, you have. I played g3, which is normal. I want to play bishop h3, play knight e2 to f4, and force e5 and go to d5. Fine. So now it's your move. You say, okay, what I'm doing here? Okay, king b8, bishop h3. So I just did all the super simple moves, and this is your main line as black. So you have to react. And how do you react is not so easy to understand.
Can black go queen c5?
Instead of knight e5 or h5?
Right now?
Right now after bishop h3?
Yeah.
You can, I guess, but what's next? Because I'm always wondering what's next. Because, for example, I mean, Compi just goes here like a3, simple moves like a3, then rook h, e1 or f1. But what is your move as black? I mean, what is your plan? Because here, exactly, I'm showing you what they're doing. So, for example, here after bishop h3, they're going for knight a5 and c4. This is the way.
Oh, yeah, I forgot my 95 plan.
You know it, yeah? Then a3?
I knew it. I just knew that the knight goes to c4 from somewhere, but I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, so here you have, yeah, that's true, but you will have to remember the lines here as well, of course. So this, and for example, here they go like something like queen d3, knight c4, queen d3. And yeah, you see, I mean, you have to remember plenty of stuff. Yeah, that's why people are mostly like on the top level and so on. They play either this like knight or forced lines. So not to play slightly worse position for a long time. You see what I mean? Not to give you too many options. So for example, when you are preparing in Najdorf, it's hard to play like this as white. Go bishop g2, h3, knight g1, knight e2, and like press a3 and so on. It's hard. because there it's forced. I'm forcing you to make some decisions as white as well. And these lines, they're maybe fine. They're maybe objectively okay. You will keep them by the computer analysis and a lot of work. But the problem of these lines, probably it's good for you. I don't know. This we'll have to check and see. I mean, if it's good for you. I mean, especially you with Srinath. But in this cases, I mean, the point is that if you are ready to counter this, then it's fine. If you want to force it, then it's better to force it in terms of Najdorf, let's say. But if you want as well to play like the kind of playable lines where you make one or two inaccuracies, but it's still playable, then you switch to 35. So this is kind of approach you just take over your chess, like over your opening repertoire, and you go over with it. So that's the thing. So in this case, let's say for example, in this position after Queen D3, I don't know, they play Rook H8. It's one of the lines. Rook H1, and some Bishop F8 probably, I guess, or Queen B7. Like, is it so easy to play like Queen B7? You see what I mean? Yeah, like everything is like more or less well placed, but what is the plan? I have no idea. Let's say if I'm seeing this for the first time as black, I mean, I didn't look at this line much as black, to be honest, like a bit when I was, I was looking at it with white color mostly. And I remember that this kind of line, you just put the pieces like this and you press the E6, you go around and so on. And precisely now I'm looking at the lines, I can see which way I'm going around. So let's say white goes just knight d4, say queen b7, knight d4, some bishop f8. You see, quite passive, quite passive.
Yeah.
And okay, Combi now has a lot of moves, queen f3 and bishop f1 and all that stuff. So it's kind of...
It's just basically waiting for what the opponent does, and when he does a mistake, you just have to bounce on it.
Yeah, but if we're talking about trends nowadays in the high-level chess, let's say, I don't say they're right. I'm just saying they're trends. The trend is you don't let your opponent go around and play the game. So mostly with black, you are trying either to get directly a good position, like kind of equal position or something, like, I don't know, in Queen's Gambit, or I don't know, Nimzo, some forced lines, or first e5 or first c5 with like Najdorf and stuff, or Sicilian. You try to force him either to make some kind of to force him to play some kind of force play where you are okay, or you are trying not to give him too many possibilities to go around. Otherwise, someone just takes the position like this, puts the engine, goes around all the time, finds some move that you probably didn't look at home, and tries to press you this way. So your idea is to counter it with some direct approach that will not let him play around for 4 hours. See what I mean? So he will have to show what he has, his cards. So that's the main trend. So if you follow this trend, and I think it's the same everywhere, like be it top men's chess, top women's chess, all together, like open section, whatever, everywhere is like this. I mean, it's like the trend is like this. So either you follow this trend, or you say that, no, I'm against this trend, and I want to create like kind of my own style. But the trends on the top level, they come from the knowledge and understanding of the problems that players already experience. So if you want to learn on the experience, probably you go by this, you follow these trends, because these people that are playing on top, they already went through this process. They wanted something on their own. They wanted some lines that are, okay, I will defend for a long time, I will find the best moves and stuff. But now, clearly the trend is that you will have to follow the path of this force play or the playable positions, like in first e5, more playable positions. So this you will have to decide, certainly with your coaches and so on, like especially with Srinath, you have to talk. I mean, playing on the top level is really demanding, so you will have to think about exactly this kind of trends. So once again, probably the position is good, yeah, but the point is that playing it is not as easy as it seems. Even if you know that after against 5 moves what you are doing, but against other 10s you don't know, and you will have to counter it over the board, and it can be very hard. That's it. Vanessa, I think I don't know, I mean, we are destroying the schedule of Chess 24, or it was interesting to talk about this opening stuff. It's okay. Yeah.
Can I be back in a second?
Yeah, sure. And what was your plan after 92, just in case?
I guess it was h5. I don't know, or maybe I can go 95. Right?
After 92.
First, you have to stop knight f4.
Okay, how can you stop knight f4? Tell me, how do you stop knight f4? Vanessa, are we back or? Okay, cool. Yeah, so how can you stop knight f4?
I don't know. Maybe you can go something like queen f2, but it looks too dangerous.
Queen f2. Actually, Divya, this is one of the main moves. So this you should know. Because it's actually what you said as well, right? It's 92 f4 is the plan. And either with g3 bishop h3 or this way. So what do you think about it? 92. This is really what you should know. And I must tell you, it's not an easy thing, by the way. So the move here, you just tell me by like naturally, what would you do?
Here?
Yeah.
Queen f2 looks fine now.
Queen f2? Queen f2, I have queen h6, and then what's the next move? Even queen d3 is possible. So queen f2, queen h6.
And go knight e5.
Knight e5, yeah. And now let's say take on e6. Take on e6, take on e6, and knight d4. Your queen is stuck there on f2, and
I don't know. I need to revise this so badly.
You need to see the lines, yeah. But by the way, there is some beautiful line there. Like after this, knight takes f3, gf, and e5, and now there is knight e2. Yeah, queen f3. Queen f3. And look at this one. There is knight c3.
Oh, that's pretty.
Queen takes h1, and then what?
They will. I don't know. They take.
Show the tactical class here. No, don't listen to the tactical stuff. But look at the position. What is the way? Just simply. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's okay.
Okay, you can just go bishop h3, right? No, you can't. Queen f3.
Yeah, and rook up. I'm rook up. You have to do what? You have to either mate me or win immediately. So there are two ways. There is no other way. So either you win immediately or you can try to mate me. So what is the way to mate here, black? Which piece is far from the game?
You have to go queen e3, queen a7.
Yeah, queen e3. So you are like cutting the queen h1, so it's not coming back, certainly. But of course, it's a tactical position. You cannot play like this simply without the rook. But I mean, the queen is coming to a7 and just mating black simply here. So for example, queen e3, any move. I mean, I don't know even which move. Which move is it? Like an rook g8 or whatever. Just queen a7 and knight d5. And white is completely winning. Otherwise, there is then bishop b5, queen takes a6, everything is hanging. So completely winning. But, okay, so you see, against knight e2 already, you want queen f2, and this is dangerous. I mean, actually very dangerous. So the way they play here, I just checked a bit, and they go king b8. I remember actually is from a long time ago that they go king b8 and some bishop c8, but I didn't remember that it was okay for black. So knight f4. Bishop c8. Divya, by the way, it's you who has to tell me what are the moves, because this is your main line. So bishop c8, and what? Yeah, and then after bishop c8, there is bishop d3, I think was here. Yeah, bishop. Oh, fe bishop d3 or bishop d3 immediately. So there is like bishop fe c3, one of the ways. So look at this position just to understand. F takes, and c3. Okay, I did very simple moves as white. I want to play knight d4 somewhere. What is your move as black? What is the plan? And the plan is not clear. That's the problem. c3. What would you do? Let's say you are black. Your favorite opening.
Is d5 possible? If you take, maybe I'll go e5, but it doesn't work, right?
That's possible.
Is it? I don't think it works.
d5, ed, e5. Possible. But a lot of stuff is like, say, for example, queen c2, one of the moves.
Nah, I think that should be.
There is some knight a5, knight e6.
Oh, wait. I think I found something pretty.
What?
You wanna go back? Takes on f4.
Yeah, take
bishop f5.
Take on d8.
Take with the rook. Wait, I'll take with the queen. That's so pretty.
You mean queen takes d8 and then what?
Yeah. What? The queen is pinned.
Yeah, and should I take everything?
What can you take?
But should I take?
What do you want to take?
After bishop f5, should I take on f5 or d8 or not?
d8 you can't take. No, queen d8 is there.
Yes, I can't. But should I take? I'm asking. Or I have another move. In your calculations, I'm asking about your calculations.
Yeah, you have bishop d3, of course, but I don't know.
Bishop d3, and who wins the game?
I don't know. I just felt this was pretty, so I told.
Okay. So you just wanted this trick with queen d8 and queen d1, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, gee, it's so tricky. Like used for this, used to play this online chess, and once bishop f5. Yeah, but we're talking about your repertoire. You go this bishop d3, and the game is just finished.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty trick anyway. It's a pretty trick. But we can't base. I mean, we can make the opening repertoire based on these tricks, because we have to do some serious stuff when we're doing this. And after queen c2, I mean, there is some knight a5, knight e6, and rook d7 stuff. And there is pretty. So let me see. Okay, so there is this e takes d5, e5 stuff, and it's possible to play this d5, but it's too much a bit from time to time. Yeah. I mean, let's say, for example, after e takes d5, e5, bishop d3. There is, let's say, knight a5 stuff here as well. But you see what kind of position it is? I mean, like everything is hanging. I mean, you have to be ready. Every time you have to be ready. Let's say, for example, here queen e2 is the move. And then you have to know that the only move that more or less, I mean, there are two moves actually. But one of the best moves here is like rook h e8 and stuff like that. But I see what you mean. I mean, you want to play some kind of like this type of positions where you can kind of counter any kind of, attack by white and so on, and get a good position because of two bishops, the center, d5, e5 stuff, and tricks, and so on. This is interesting, but yeah, a bit worried about this kind of stuff because white can go around all the time. That's like, for example, here, if they want to avoid, let's say, any kind of d5s, they can just go bishop d3, let's say. And let's say if you don't have, okay, clear. You have a good feeling of playing d5 and d5 stuff. So let's say I'm playing against this. I'm just playing bishop d3 to avoid it completely. Can I do that?
Yeah, you can.
And then what will you do with the position?
Maybe I can go something like queen c5, bishop f8.
After bishop d3, yeah? Queen c5, let's say. Yeah, then c3 somehow, maybe. Oh, sorry.
Bishop f8.
C3, yeah.
Bishop f8. You go. Yeah, bishop f8.
By the way, are you threatening to go bishop h6 if I will take on e6 and c5?
Yeah, you can take on e6. So maybe
Because bishop h6 is not a threat because I can take on e6 and c5. So bishop f8 is like, yeah, you're threatening at some point. Maybe if I go rook h e1 or something like this, yeah.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
yeah, can I go something like usual stuff, like bishop c2 and bishop b3?
This is just so bad for black.
You see what I mean? I mean, you just didn't do any
Yes.
bad moves, it seems, but it seems that the position is bad somehow. And people are saying in the chat that looks like she's not interested. But guys, yeah, it's possible. It's possible. It's possible.
What?
But
No.
it's supposed to, guys. It's supposed to be this. You know, she's not playing games. She's studying all day long, and she's working on chess, and she's not having even the phone close to her like most of the day. So she's like taking it once a day or something. So guys, even if it looks like this, yeah, I know this kind of young talents. They're like they make like if it's boring and they don't care, but it's like Carlson, because when he plays the games it seems that he wants to sleep, but in fact he wants to beat you most of the time and put a lot of tricks. So guys, please, don't worry, Divya is fine, Divya is okay. When she's bored she will tell me directly. She's this kind of person. She's like super direct. She will say, guys, I'm bored, just close this, let's finish the discussion, and so on. No, but in these positions, Divya, to be serious about the opening itself, look, I mean, you didn't do any bad move here in this type of position, and you got like really unpleasant position. Now bishop b3 is coming, knight d4 is coming, not sure what's the plan. And what I mostly afraid of is that this bishop on c8 is very, I mean, d7 or c8 is very much restricted, can never move. It's like one more pawn on d7 or somewhere there, and it's just like kind of controlling the position. But it's I mean,
I need some new openings.
I mean, it's not about even I mean, even if this you can master somehow, it's probably possible to find like all the best ways and to know exactly what you are doing, exactly the sequence.
But this is kind of passive.
This is very passive. This is very passive. Yeah, but it's like I mean, you can play it if you master it. The way they play it, it's also interesting, but not easy. Not easy. So probably you will have to see of course, anytime also we'll be happy to help if I can. I mean, this in terms of openings, I'm not a huge specialist in openings part. Certainly, I know my stuff and so on, and I know a lot. I mean, certainly, but not the type of player as Anish is. Like I'm more like kind of practical player, but still, of course, I know a lot and can help with a lot of stuff. But generally, I think you have to decide for yourself out of this three kind of options, more or less. This kind of force lines, the lines that are passive, but you know how to dynamically keep them, and the playable lines with first e5. So for you, if you are a tactical player mostly, then you can go certainly for the Najdorf. This is a good option. Or the main Sicilians that I'm playing as well. The Sicilians with knight c6 and all this stuff is also very interesting. So guys, I think we're okay by doing this. Thank you so much, Divya, for having
Thank you.
I enjoyed really a lot.
Yes.
I never was like kind of a teacher or something. I don't feel myself even how to say.
You were
Um,
really great.
I mean, I'm not how to say. I don't consider myself such a big guy to be able to teach or something like a super clever one that can teach something. But it was a great experience because I mean I was doing this session with a great talent, Divya Deshmukh, and I'm always pronouncing it more or less right. So please don't tell me that I make a mistakes there.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, especially that with my surname Divya around the world, especially like for example the Spanish-speaking people that speak Spanish like as a first language, they always was saying like Radjabov because the J there, and even when they make ha 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 in the chat, they make it not J. So yeah, it's written like it's written like this and pronounced like this. So I was in Spain. I was always Radjabov, and about the rest of my names, I mean, they were experimenting as they wish, always. So it's fine. And Divya, thank you so much for the session. It was really pleasant, but certainly.
Yes, thank you so much for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, CoChess, Chess24 for organizing this. And guys, see you next time. Bye bye, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.